Georgia, sir. I've been asked to accompany you on a familiarization flight of the AOR. Here at Viziani, the 492nd Strike Eagles are at the eastern end of the base, and we're on the western side. Once you take off, I'll be right behind you, and we'll head west over to Tbilisi.
Hello guys, and welcome back to Chris Flies Planes. Chris here, of course, and today we are back in DCS World. So we are going to be doing a Let's Play of this. We're going to be playing through the F15C Flaming Cliffs 3 campaign. And I'm super excited. I love this game. I love playing this game. This feels like the culmination of all my sim playing so far. And this is what I'm kind of been looking forward to. So let's just get this plane started up. So let's get engines on. Nav lights on. Canopy closed. Canopy lights on. And let's radio in to Viziani ATC to request startup. So, this first flight, guys, is just a familiarization flight of the local terrain. So it's not going to be the most exciting. We're definitely not going to be in combat. We're just going to be doing a flight over the campaign with our wingman as he talks through what we are doing. But it gives me a chance to have a chat with you guys and talk about my channel. So we're clear for startup, so let's get left engine on the go. And right engine on the go. And left engine, no.
Pontiac, passing waypoint 2 at 7,000.
There's left engine on the go. Cool. So we are flying today, guys, the beautiful F15C, the Strike Eagle. This is a single seat fighter jet. We're currently flying it for the US Air Force. You can see our wingman off there behind us. And we are in Viziani. If we just jump in and look at the map here, we're down just to the eastern kind of most part of the map here. The map you see spreads up to the northwest. So as I said, we're going to be doing a familiarization flight today. So that is our startup done. Let's request taxi to runway.
Request taxi to runway. Magic Bra 336 480.
So I know the last video we did, my kind of introduction to DCS was in the SU-27, the Super Flanker, but I've decided to do the campaign in the F15C just because it's an American plane, which means all the cockpit is in America, and it makes life a little bit easier for me. And honestly, the systems are very similar in both planes, so just make sure our wheel brakes are off here. Let's get rolling. And yeah, I think it's just a little bit cooler than the F-15, and I like the F-15. It seems a little bit better for me to be flying that rather than a SU-27. We're also going to be doing a lot more other flying in this game, guys, as we work through the campaign. I'd love to get into some of the helicopter stuff. I'd love to start looking at some of the CAS, the CAS, for close air support, where we do some ground stuff. I've never really flown any ground bombs and stuff in games. I've only done minimal dogfighting, if I'm honest. So there's definitely stuff to learn in that. Okay, let's request our takeoff. There's our takeoff clearance. See how far left in there. Our wingman is rolling out. We are going to roll straight into runway. Just going to get my view set up how I like it, and let's punch it. So another video I put out recently, guys, you may not have seen if you are not liked with me on Facebook. I do mention this quite a lot, guys, but I am fairly active on Facebook. Let's get gear up, flaps up. And one thing I do on Facebook is I will put videos on there fairly regularly, and some of them are unique, so they will not be on my YouTube channel. So do head over to facebook.com/ChrisFliesPlanes and have a look. The video I put up was an unedited video with just music over it, and it was me and Andre playing this game in Oculus and just having a little bit of fun. I genuinely think you'll really enjoy it if you look at it, so yeah, head on over to my Facebook, guys, and have a look at that if you haven't already. I definitely intend to play more of this game with the Oculus. I am planning to buy the CV1, the Oculus Rift release version, in the next week or so, actually, guys. You should see that on my channel fairly soon.
Let's just get our turn done here and just check we're going in the right direction.
definitely pull up a lot more here, guys. Alright, let's just get to waypoint 3 here.
Below you is the city of Rustavi, southwest of the capital. We'll keep heading west.
Colt 9, airborne. Chevy 31, Magic, Bra, 327, for 140.
Just gonna finish this turn, guys, and I'll talk again. Just trying to make sure my speed's up where I want it to be as well.
Magic, pop-up group, 326, for 130, at 3,500, flanking. Colt 9, passing waypoint 2 at 3,000.
Okay. So yeah, talking about my channel, guys, and talking about what's going to be on that, let's have a conversation about that. I know I've been a little bit useless with videos recently. Honestly, I've had a very tiring, very busy, very stressful couple of weeks, with busy weekends, and
They used to go froggies down there. Now the 52nd Fighter Wings A-10s and A-16s are using it. Further north is Tbilisi-Lucchini Airport that our tankers and AWACS are using.
Chevy 31, Magic, Bra, 342.
And yeah, as I was saying, it's just been a little bit tough for me to do videos recently. I haven't been in the right mindset and just want to take a wee break, but I'm back in it now. One of the things I've decided to do during this little break is I'm going to stop doing X-Plane and FSX. And I know these have kind of been the mainstay of my channel so far, but honestly my channel is so young and so new and not enough people watch it that it doesn't really matter if I make a big change, and that's the change I'm doing. So what you're going to see more of, in fact, is hopefully DCS. I want to play a lot more of this game. I absolutely adore this game. I love the military aspect. I love how much more disciplined it is and how the learning curve's a lot steeper.
Now we're over to Tbilisi proper, and the focus of our defensive operations here in Georgia.
So I'm definitely going to be playing more of this game. I'm going to try and do more Red Bull as well, try and work my way through the progression in Red Bull. I'm kind of hoping a lot more people start to play that. I hope Red Bull pushes it a little bit harder now they've actually done their full launch, because honestly it's a great game and I think more people should be playing it. We're also going to do some more space stuff, so I'd love to do a lot more Pulsar with Christina and other people who play with us. I also want to kind of get into maybe doing some Star Citizen as and when that starts, kind of getting new stuff added, maybe even jumping in and doing a little bit more Elite Dangerous once we get our Rift. And yeah, I just want to fly planes. That's what I want to do, really. I'm a little bit kind of burnt out on the whole X-Plane 10 and Microsoft FSX thing. Two reasons really. Firstly is they're just old and they feel old and they're just a pain in the ass. X-Plane 10 looks great out the box, but it's just really unstable for me, and there's too many times where I've done a half-hour flight and it's crashed at the end of a flight, and it's, you know, it's just dumb and it just wastes my evening. FSX just looks shit. The UI looks shit. It's just not a pleasant experience. Like, once you're up and, you know, you've done all the modifications and everything, it can look really nice, but it's just not a great game. It's old, it feels old, and it needs to be replaced. So, speaking of which, by the end of the year, who knows, maybe we're going to have the new flight sim from Dovetail Games. I hold out no hope personally, given that they have not spoken about it since February. Another thing that's going to be happening is X-Plane 11, which is definitely coming out. But reading the press reviews, so reading their kind of talks with that, it does seem a little bit like it's not going to be that much of an update, but again, we'll see. In the meantime, we've got this, guys. This game is beautiful. It's kind of in-depth, it looks fantastic, default planes out of the box are fantastic. There's so much content in this, and I really want to kind of get my money's worth and really kind of start playing this game. And there's, of course, Red Bull Air Race. It's such a great fun game. I love playing Red Bull Air Race. It's so much fun.
This is Caspian, and this will serve as a common navigation point for us.
And yeah, if there are any other games you want to see me play, guys, do give me a shout. Obviously, it kind of has to involve me flying, because that's the point of the channel. But do let me know. I'm also thinking about doing a No Fly Tuesday, where we just play other games which aren't flight sims. I know it's pretty extreme, but believe it or not, I do play other games, and if I'm recording, I feel less like I'm wasting my time. It's much more enjoyable for me. Let's get our radar on here, guys, just for shits and giggles. So as we're flying here, let's talk us through the systems a little bit in this plane. We may as well. So you can see this little square to the bottom left with those two vertical white lines moving side to side in it. This is my my radar. I can't remember the proper terminology. Basically, it's radar that lets me track other planes in the air near me. And you can see these two white lines. I'm controlling them with a hat switch on my thumb, on my left thumb. And this lets me change the range of the radar. So you can see we're at 160 right now. If we look at the top right of the corner, and we can go down through 80 to 40 to 20 to 10. These are in nautical miles, and these are the range at which radar is kind of most effective. So we're going to put this up to 80. There's a lot more stuff to do with this radar as well, and we'll talk through that in like later videos as we do more combat stuff. But for now, basically I'm scanning around 80 nautical miles, and you can see that line going backwards and forwards on the bottom. That's it scanning. If we see any airplanes come onto that, I will give you a shout and we'll talk through what that means. In terms of radars, you can also see on my bottom right of my screen.
City south of the FIBA. This will also be a good navigation point for us. The FIBA is about 85 clicks to the northwest of us.
As I was saying, you can see on the bottom right of my screen is like the threat warning radar, I believe it's called, TWR. And this shows us all of the things we are picking up on our radar based on, I believe, their radar signals out around us in 360 degrees. And I'm not very comfortable with all the symbols yet, but obviously the 15 in the diamond with the circle is the F-15 Strike Eagle, which is flying behind us to our left. And yeah, that's basically how that works, and that's what the beeping is coming from as well. As we get painted by radar, it will beep. It will also beep when we have a lock on and beep when we have a missile launch. You'll hear that in later videos as I get into combat. As I said today, we're just doing a bit of a just kind of mellow fly around. We need to try and get our height back down, as we are very high. But yeah, we're just doing a bit of a familiarization. The guy's talking us through everything. Currently flying west from Tibli. So from Gori out towards the FIBA, which is like the defensive line, I believe, between the Georgian and the Russian troops. Let's try and get our altitude back down to 250. And just give an eye on speed there.
Colt 9, passing waypoint 5 at 12,000.
So the route I'm flying right now is dictated, guys, by the nav information on my head-up display. You can see on the bottom right where it says nav, and I believe there's a number 6 next to that. That means I'm targeting waypoint 6. N is nautical miles, so we are 10.0 nautical miles away. And 1 min, I have no idea what that means. I will read the manual. And you see, basically, there's that vertical line in the center of our head-up display. If I turn away from it, you'll see it goes away. The point is to roll yourself until that is in the middle of your head-up display. And I'm going to try and hold 25,000 here by keeping that little circle with the 2 wings either side of it on that solid line, roughly. And you see our speed on the left, that band on the left where it says 300, 350, 400. That is our speed in knots, and we are flying at 350 knots, which is the recommended flight speed for this mission. So, all the numbers match up.
That is marked by the city of Kashiri below us. We'll backtrack to the northeast behind the FIBA.
So we're going to be rolling hard right here in a moment as we hit the next waypoint. And there we go. Put it right over here. 45-degree bank here. Going to keep our nose up, just keep our altitude up. A little bit more power just as we do a sharp turn, just to keep our speed up around that 350 knots mark. Obviously, you know, as we start turning right over, we lose all that kind of, we lose the direction the lift is pushing us in. So it's going to take us a little bit more power to get that lift back up, which is why we're throttling up there. Pulling back on the stick as well, just to keep our nose up in this turn. As we turn, our nose is going to dip down, we're going to lose altitude. Just going to try and keep our nose up, keep this nice tight turn. And so I'm going to start leveling it out here fairly soon. So you see, guys, on my radar here, just the bottom left, it's a little bit of a challenging time to do it in a tight turn. You can see how there's these solid green dots flashing up on our radar and leaving these kind of like ghost marks behind. These are planes, other planes in front of us, a range probably around 20 nautical miles by the looks of it. Because they're square, because they're circular and solid, that means that they are friendly planes. We don't need to worry about them. We can still lock them up. So if we lock that up, we can see that's a C-135. And we can see a little bit more information about it. Again, we'll talk through that in a later video. That's basically how that works. And it allows you to kind of lock planes on and launch your radar-guided missiles, basically. So we've got a number of radar-guided missiles. And we'll use that for a lot of them, certainly kind of beyond visual range, which is when we are far enough away from the enemy fighter that we cannot see them. We will be relying on this screen to kind of see them, lock them up, get some information about them, and hopefully shoot them down. Okay, gonna stop our turn here. I'm just gonna just throttle up fully here, guys.
The Russians are just north, so be careful.
Start speeding up to get ourselves home here.
May take a shot at you.
It's just warning us about some surface-to-air missiles and surface-to-air weaponry just off to our left here. Obviously we're going to turn away from them. You can see them on our radar, our threat warning radar, just to be around 10 o'clock mark there. That is all enemy forces. We want to avoid them, and we've been flying over friendly forces. Oh no, not actually. A friendly little fighter pair there. Looks like two fighters and a tanker in drag. So we can lock them up. So we can see here. Let's unlock them. I'm going to turn away from them anyway. You can see they're just down 10 nautical miles to our right hand side there, guys. Okay, let's switch on nav point here. So as you're flying this mission, guys, if you are flying along and playing this game alongside me, it's very important you keep an eye on the bottom right here where it says nav and that number. Occasionally it won't trigger the next nav point, and that N number, the nautical miles from nav, will start going up. All you need to do then is just, if you have a key map to next waypoint, press that. If not, just have a look in your settings and check the next waypoint key and press it. That will cycle your nav point to the next one. So you can see we're on 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it could be quite useful just to skip things as well. So we're going to head back to base now. We're actually going to head this back to 0, which I know will take us back to base. I believe 9 will anyway, but... Okay, so I'm just going to put it down here into a slow descent. Just going to throttle back to idle and just try and descend whilst holding probably around 350 knots here. We get to 20 nautical miles or so, we're going to call up ATC and just get permission to land at Vatiani. You see this little flight wing off to our left here. We've got a fighter jet, a wingman, and by the looks of it, a carrier. Let's see if we can lock them actually. So let's just get right down there, pretty close here. Let's see what we've got here. So that's an F-15. That's an E3, yeah. I think the E3 is a carrier. We'll dip down a little bit too low there. F-15, F-15, E3A. I'm not entirely sure what an E3A is, guys. Let's see if we can just see out the top here as he flies by. I can't. Okay. Something to look at after the flight here. I imagine it's some sort of tanker carrier. Would be my assumption. And he'll be flying in formation with a couple of F-16s, flight lead and a wingman, and he'll be dragging them along, refueling them as necessary, as I guess they're patrolling, because it doesn't look like they are pushing the combat. That would be my assumption, but again guys, I don't know what I'm talking about a lot of the time. So, there we go. So we're about 29 nautical miles from Vatiani here, and just passing flight level 155. And cruising down a little bit slow actually. Let's push the nose down a little bit. Let's get a little bit more speed up here. I don't really want to drop below 300. around 350 mark. So I'm going to be interested. I'm going to see if I can put it into ILS mode here. Let's just go back to nav mode. Okay, so our ILS is definitely set. So 3 looks like 3 must be Vatsiani. What we're going to do is just maintain our dive here. Now we've got this cross in the middle of our screen, and that is going to give us steering information. So as always, we're going to try and keep that centered. And this should hopefully fly us into the runway, guys. I am notoriously bad at both ILS landings and landings full stop, as you guys I'm sure know by now. But nonetheless, got a lot of fog and mist here, which is definitely going to make things slightly more difficult. Hopefully it'll make the ILS more effective if we can hopefully fly it without screwing it up. So keep dipping down here, guys. We're going to level out at around 2,000 feet. A little bit of frame rate drop as we're getting lower here, down to 54, as you can see top right corner. I'm still running this on a GTX 960. I'm going to hopefully purchase a 1070 in the next month or so. I will keep you updated about that and obviously let you know when it goes in. Hopefully you'll be able to see the difference anyway. And we're going to start slowly throttling it back up to medium thrust. And start leveling her out here. Again, following this ILS cross in the middle of our screen. Very closely. And alright.
Chevy 31, Magic Bra 339, 4100 at 28,000.
Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Flanking.
Right, so let's just call up ATC here at Vatsiani and say inbound.
Chevy 31, Vatsiani, fly heading 8442, QFE 28.36, runway 14, to pass altitude.
Alright, so that is the end of our mission. That was a successful mission, thankfully. Don't expect the rest of them to be so successful. I'm not sure why that switched.
Pontiac, passing waypoint 6 at 7,000.
Right, so we're going to be flying wind by eye, but there's no surprise there. So let's just get our flaps down, and we know we're going to be landing about runway 14, which I believe is around here. I know it's just off to the left of these troops. So in theory, if we just kind of maintain runway 14 here, and again I'm just going to see if I can actually get the right ILS. I mean, feels like it might be about right. I wish I could actually see the runway here. It looks like that's the runway there. I think we might make it on this time round. So let's just
Chevy 31, cleared for visual, contact.
get down.
Chevy 31, request landing.
And
Chevy 31, Vatsiani, clear to land, runway 14, wind 200 at 4 meters per second. 2, rejoin.
okay. So that was a crisp flight plane landing as always. Let's get our air brakes on.
2,
Yes.
RTB.
We definitely need it, and then I'm going to hold off on the brakes for as long as we can possibly get away with here. The planes are notoriously hard to slow down. Okay, let's get wheel brakes on. Okay, so as you can see, I'm still learning how to land this plane, guys. I do find this plane like a little bit of a bitch to land in terms of the stall speed. I'm just trying to kind of work out like the correct kind of speed to come in at. It's going to take me a little bit of a while, but there we go, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was DCS World. This is part 1 of our F-15 campaign fly-through. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I do these regularly, so please hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, thank you so much for liking, thank you for commenting, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful week, guys.